Welcome to A Meaningful Marketplace.
I'm Sarah Masoni from Oregon State University's Food Innovation Center, where I've helped countless dreamers launch their new food products. It's the science of taking a food delight from the kitchen to mass manufacturing and still keeping its great taste. That's what I do. I've been called the woman with the $1 million palate, although I haven't tried to cash that check yet. Listen in weekly for real-life stories.
I'm Sarah Marshall, owner of Marshall's Haute Sauce and author of Preservation Pantry, modern canning from root to top and stem to core. I love inspiring business owners to get started on their journey, encourage folks to be part of their local community, and I'm excited to help business owners tell their stories. Hello and welcome to the Meaningful Marketplace. We are here weekly to discuss the journeys of food entrepreneurs. We're glad you've joined us today as we bring you stories of hope and inspiration. This is Sarah Marshall, owner of Marshall's Haute Sauce.
And Sarah Masoni of Oregon State University's Food Innovation Center. Hi, Sarah Marshall. I haven't seen you in ages.
I know. Summer gets a little wild. Our listeners don't know this, but we sort of record shows in batches so that Sarah can be all around doing her things. I'm usually doing a lot of production during this time, so we don't get to see each other weekly, even though to our listeners it probably feels like we do. So any updates you want to update people on? What have you been up to? I know you were at the Fancy Food Show since we were last
Yeah,
time.
I was at Fancy Food Show in New York City, had a good time there, and then came home and hopped in the truck, and Michael and I drove all the way to Minnesota and back.
Wow.
Yeah, so we had a lot of adventure. One of the fun things that we did is we stayed at a hip camp in Montana, Primrose Station, and that was partially funded through the Regional Food Business Center. They got to put in refrigeration there. So it was nice to see those folks and spend the night in a Montana prairie.
That sounds fun. I'll link that in the show notes so people can check it out. I remember you telling me about that, and very cool that you got to check it out after we heard about it.
And then we were supposed to spend time in Coeur d'Alene, but as we drove through the valley leaving Montana, this wall of smoke was there. And we ended up just driving home from Missoula. Spent 10 hours in the car.
Ooh, just straight through.
Yeah. So spending the last couple of days recovering.
Well, I'm glad that you're back. It's good to hear your voice and see you in person. We'll do a Fancy Food Show recap at some point so people can hear about your adventures and the people you brought with you and all the great things that you saw, because I know people always like those.
Yeah.
And I put together some tips and tricks for when people go to food shows that I want to share with folks.
We're getting ready for January in San Francisco.
Ooh, it's moving to San Francisco. That was the last food show that I actually did pre-pandemic.
Yep, that's where they had all the hand sanitizer stations around. I was trying to figure out what was going on.
And then now we know.
Now we know. The world will never be the same.
Well, we have a special guest we want to introduce you today. We have Heather, who's the executive director of the Portland Fruit Tree Project, a grassroots nonprofit turning fruit trees into a community resource in Portland, Oregon. We're delighted to have you on the show today, Heather. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So we always like to connect our listeners and give them the best way to follow Portland Fruit Tree Project. So how can they find you online?
We're on Instagram and Facebook, and we also have a very busy website.
Perfect. And it's just under
Portland Fruit Tree Project.
Perfect. And we'll link that in the show notes so people can just click on it and find you. We kind of like to start at the beginning. So let's tell people what the Fruit Tree Project is and what your role is there.
Yeah, so at the Portland Fruit Tree Project, we care for and harvest from the trees that feed and shape neighborhoods. People know us best for our backyard harvesting program that collects the fruit that would otherwise go to waste and redistributes it through pantry partnerships. My role as the executive director is often to do some of the more external facing things, but also driving our strategy. And then weirdly enough, I run all of our food preservation programming just because I love it. And I was certified through OSU as a master food preserver. So it's one of my hobbies to get out of the house and go actually see people.
That's so cool. I've loved this organization for a long time, and I just really want, our listeners to find ways to get involved. And so I know we'll talk about that, but I kind of wanted to talk about the evolution of the Fruit Tree Project, because I think it's really cool that it started kind of as a neighbor to neighbor beginning and then now it's this, bigger community resource. Can you just talk a little bit about the history?
For sure. When it started, it was an AmeriCorps project that was housed underneath another organization. That was back in 2006. Yes, 2006. I had to think about that one for a second, which makes this our 20th year, which is very exciting. And we didn't notice until we were partway into it that we were apparently in a big year we should have planned for. Most of that was really just small harvests in neighborhoods. It was very reliant on volunteers being leads. Otherwise, things weren't getting done. We didn't really have a lot of like tools, equipment, trucks, that kind of thing. Over a few years, it was super hip in Portland to do food related things. We were all homesteaders in the early 2000s, says the person with the chicken still. As that started to shift and funding universes changed, we had to be a little bit more creative. And then there were some, financial struggles, and we kind of shut down for about a year and a half around 2017. And then I joined in 2020 with a mission to, kill it or make it keep going. And so far, so good on the keeping it going bit.
Good job.
6 years in, and bigger than we've ever been. So at this point, we do full service tree care, which is pruning, spraying, that kind of thing, with the eye towards better cared for trees provide better fruit and are less likely to be removed. So they're better, more sustainable shade options for neighborhoods. We've really started viewing ourselves as, yes, we're a food access organization, but we also are working in shade equity because trees provide shade, even if they are small fruiting trees. And then also, how do we make all of our work be centered in racial equity work? Since often the people who are disadvantaged by lack of shade or lack of access to good food are those communities of color. So how do we house all of our programming with that diversity, equity, and inclusion lens? We do a lot of things.
That's amazing. Do you have like a central location that you work from?
We do. Our home office is at the Levin Community Center on 20th and Killingsworth. And that's where we do our cooking projects. It's where one of our now 2 fruit fridges are. And the fruit fridges are awesome because they are located outside. So if people want to harvest from their own trees and just drop it off and they don't want us to be intermediaries or they don't need us to be, it's been a really great way of expanding how people can share fruit. And now we have one as of Thursday. I mean, I got it built yesterday, but Thursday, the 23rd, is our official launch for the West Side Fruit Fridge, which will be at Bethlehem House of Bread in Tigard.
What is exactly a fruit fridge?
That is such a Sarah question. I love it. So it is an outdoor walk-in cooler.
Okay.
That is weatherproof for outside, and then we use a CoolBot to make it a refrigerator.
Mm.
I'm sure it's
And so the doors are open. You can just bring your fruit there?
Yeah.
And so people can come and bring their fruit that they harvest from their own trees and drop it off. And then people that need fruit can just come and pick it up, or do they have to like say that they're coming, or can they just
Some
come and
people
get it?
will just sort of cruise by. Mostly it's our pantry partners that come for the pickup piece of it. At Bethlehem House, it'll be, I think, pretty much exclusively them that's grabbing it because they have the pantry on site. Although I think that they might not realize quite how much fruit they're looking at and they may need some help with people. We keep the one at Levin completely unlocked, so people definitely will come by and grab things when they want it. And people have been really good about not being crazy and making sure there's still plenty because there's so much fruit.
This is a great place to grow fruit, so I'm not surprised. And I think this year was a great pollinator year. Can you tell us what you're doing with pollinators? I
Sure,
think you
yeah.
have some kind of a project, don't you?
We do. So in the spring and the fall, our shoulder seasons, we had a little bit of extra time and we thought, well, let's fill all of that time instead of taking any time off. So we do mason bee, which is a native solitary bee projects. In the spring, we build houses and we teach people how to steward them. And in the fall, we do bee harvesting. So you take all of the bee cocoons out of their tubes and you wash them and you remove all of the pests. And then you redistribute them. So last year was the first year that we started doing that for more than just our own orchard spaces. We started just inviting people to bring all of their bees to us because so many people don't have the time or sometimes the skill. And a lot of people actually don't have the hand coordination anymore because it takes a lot of so we had a lot of people who had sort of physically aged out of the ability to do it, who were really grateful to have other people who could help do this really fiddly, hand intense thing.
Is there a fee for that? Do
Nope.
you give a donation or?
if people want to make a donation, I will never tell them no. But
Mm-hmm.
also, we had the time, we've got a lot of volunteers who are happy to be helpful.
Mm.
We really, the more that those pests and disease are removed from the general population, the healthier all of our pollinators are.
Okay, I'm gonna come clean. I'm buddies with your partner in crime, Catherine. She was telling me stories about the bees
Mm-hmm.
and
Her
having them
refrigerator
in.
died and they all hatched.
Yeah. Oh, that was pretty fun.
What was funny because it wasn't our refrigerators.
Right? Just amazing. She'll do things for people and put bees in her refrigerator. Yeah,
Yep.
it's amazing gal.
You mentioned if people wanted to donate that you would never say no. Let's tell people if they are listening and they want to donate how to best do that.
Absolutely. We take money donations in any form or fashion through our website or checks or gosh, stocks if you want to go crazy. All of that information is on our website. It's portlandfruit.org. We also take stuff donations. So a lot of people think that their plastic clamshells with good lids are garbage, but we think they're wonderful. So we are happy to take clamshells during certain parts of the harvest year. We love to take people's canning jars. There's a list of that on the website as well. 'Cause, yeah, the world revolves around more than just the ability to give each other money. We also need each other's garbage.
I mean, there's probably some basements in Portland that have thousands of canning jars in them. You have a location to store those? You ready
Yeah,
for
we
that?
have a bunch at Levin and then a bunch at Bethlehem House. And at this point, I house them wherever I need to because I will never say no to a good jar donation.
Okay, good to know.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, let's talk about how some of our makers can get involved in Fruit Tree Project. So we'll be right back.
Oregon State University's College of Agricultural Sciences and the Food Innovation Center are proud sponsors of Meaningful Marketplace. With a mission to serve all Oregonians, we are committed to giving voice to those whose food and agricultural stories are not always heard. By providing access and opportunity for a more diverse and just food system, because food brings people together. Ooh, that's a good question, Sarah Marshall. How can makers get involved in the Portland Fruit Tree Project?
That is a good question. I hadn't really thought about it before. I personally, like I said, I work through the OSU Extension Services for the Master Food Preserver program, but I am super interested in other people who do preserves and learning from them on what they did to get up and running. Sarah, I was picking your brain about how one uses a bricks machine or bricks gadget. I still haven't actually taken it out of the container, but it's in there. I don't know. I think we're really open to any sort of collaboration. So if anybody wanted to, grab some fruit and make a co-branded thing, that's always exciting for us. It's great for the cross promotion for both brands typically.
So if I wanted to, for example, make a Portland Fruit Tree hot sauce and use some of your fruit, and then we could do something to help raise funds for Portland Fruit Tree Project, that would be something that you would be open to doing.
I would jump at that opportunity. Absolutely.
Cool. That sounds fun.
Yeah, we have a distiller who just picked up a whole bunch of plums last week and is doing a plum brandy with us. And then we had a cider maker that we've been doing some cider stuff with as well.
You definitely need hot sauce.
And do you need
Absolutely.
do you need more volunteers?
With as often as we are out doing things in the world, yeah, we can always use more help. We are pounding the streets right now. I scheduled 6 more harvests between, today and Saturday, just yesterday.
Wow.
We're constantly getting more requests. So, and we want to be able to get to all of them that we can. And with this hot weather, especially anytime we have a heat wave, we're like, oh, shoot, everybody who can come out.
So what would it entail if somebody decided they want to be a volunteer? Do they sign up on your website?
Yep, they sign up on the website. And in there, you get the option to say when you're available. So if you're only available Saturday mornings, we don't want to hound you for all of the things that are not Saturday morning. And then from there, every time we post a harvest, we invite everybody who said they're available during that particular time period. And then whoever can make it shows up. Most harvests are 2 hours. Our early season fig harvests are 1 hour. So really short time commitments. We also have a lot of orchard work parties, preservation days. All the preservation days fill up really fast.
So if somebody has fruit in their yard and they're a little bit nervous about whether it's good enough for you to come and harvest, what would you tell them?
I tell them that they should send us a picture of the fruit if they are able to, or give us a call or text us, and we would be happy to clarify that for them. 'Cause, like, most of the fruit in the city is not perfect. We are all organic gardeners for the most part. I have yet to encounter anybody that is actively spraying their fruit trees. We know that there's going to be some that aren't going to be perfect for fresh eating, and that's why we started all the preservation programming, was so that we could either turn it into cider or jams or jellies or some other way to utilize it so it's still being used.
How can somebody benefit from the jams and jellies that you make? Can they purchase them?
They can. We have an online store, all things on the website. We also have a really cute quarterly subscription thing where you get a mystery box of 3 to 4 cute things in a little box and some
Oh.
recipes. And the third quarter just went out last week. And so the next one will be coming out toward the end of the year.
That's
And then
cool.
we're
How
at
many?
the Montevilla Farmers Market every couple of weeks, and we do
Oh.
holiday fairs.
How many subscribers do you have currently, and what is your goal for subscriptions?
We have 23 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 more for this quarter, and then I'm hoping to get us up to 30 for the fourth quarter, which
Good
is like
goal.
the smallest scale ever, but it was our first year, and I didn't want to injure anyone with that much work.
I think that seems great. That seems like a great amount because then you can like figure out all the logistics and
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're hand delivering most of them too, because
Yeah.
shipping is astronomical. And so we're like, all right, who lives in this neighborhood and can drop
Yeah.
off this person's?
That's a great idea. We have a fig tree in our yard that probably has 400 figs on it. It's crazy this year.
Yeah.
But they don't all ripen at the same time. So I was trying to figure out how you would optimize having somebody come and pick the fruit.
That is why our fig harvests are shorter, because figs will tend to ripen every couple of days.
Yeah.
We'll typically work with, if it's a good fig tree in a location that we can get volunteers out to, we can do like an hour every week and just pull them
Okay.
off. Because of course, if you harvest a fig too early, it tastes like sawdust and it never ripens.
Never does.
I didn't know that about figs. I've never had a fig tree. You do offer services and classes and I think pruning to help people with their trees so that the fruit gets better. Is that right?
Yeah, so our full service tree care services, we do one-on-one coaching with people. So if someone's like, I want to do this myself, I'm just not entirely sure what to do, you get one of our experts for a whole hour to walk you through all of the goals and what you can do with it. Alternately, we have this incredible crew of people who will come out and do all the pruning for you, which is what I have done at my house because I don't want to do all the hard work. I just want to pick the fruit. And then we currently also have some grant funding for low canopy neighborhoods where we're able to do free tree care for 3 years for people. And all the information, the map for who we can bring into that program is on the website as well. A lot of times tree care is just out of the realm of reality for a lot of people. We try to keep our pricing super competitive or very low, but it's still, a few $100s a year for fruit tree care is more than some people can do. So we're happy to be able to do some of it for free.
Yeah, when we bought our house, there was lots of fruit trees and some of them are great and some of them are not. And I'm pretty sure it's a fixable thing, but I'm not positive. So I might be one of your customers.
Most of the time it is fixable. I mean, sometimes you just have a variety that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
I have an apple variety that I just don't like. So I have got our crew top grafting it. So in 2 years, it might take 3 years with the size of tree it is.
Yeah.
We're changing it from the variety of apple that I don't like into a mountain rose, which I love.
That's so
Which is like the
smart.
craziest thing that you can do with trees. Just change it. It's
There,
fun.
Marshall, you should do that with your trees in the front yard. You can make them into whatever kind of fruit tree you want.
Well, the fruit trees in the front yard are good. We have a Italian plum that I love.
Oh, they're
And
perfect.
we have a peach that only really,
Oh.
gives us maybe 10 peaches. And so that's great. And we try to keep it small so that it doesn't get crazy.
Yeah.
But then we have an Asian pear tree. And I'm pretty sure like one year it was great. And then now they're just like really tiny. And I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the pruning of it, but I don't know.
I suspect the fruit needs to be thinned. So most of the time you're going to take off 60 to 80% of what the tree sets for fruit. And that's how you get bigger fruit. Also, are you watering?
No.
Yeah, you got to water fruit trees. There was a time in Oregon where if a tree was established, you didn't need to water it anymore.
Yeah.
Hello, climate change. We all need to water our fruit trees now, unless we want them to be tiny.
Well, we didn't used to water it and it was fine. And that
The
makes
climate has
a lot of
gotten
sense.
worse. Yeah, it's
Thank
gotten
you.
hotter and hotter in the tree. And we've been, such extreme droughts for so many years. The
Yeah.
trees just don't have the ability to keep up with it. And Asian pears need a lot of water because I mean, think about how wet a fruit it is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
So I would start with watering.
cool. Thank you. Already, you have given me advice I've
That's
never
the
heard.
low-hanging
So
fruit.
thank you. Yeah.
It's amazing what H2O will do for people and plants.
True story.
Well, I mean, we water everything else. I don't know why we don't do those, but
You
they've
don't think
never had
about it because
needed
they're
them
established
before.
trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
And
our trees are on drip system, so they all get water every day.
yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense. You got it down, Sarah.
Well, it's my husband.
We always like to ask people what they need from their community right now. So, how can people listening support you and Fruit Tree Project?
We've talked about a bunch of the ways. So definitely coming out to volunteer with us if you can do it one time for 2 hours or every week for 2 hours or whatever you want to do. All of those things are wonderful. Obviously, donating helps us stay afloat and pay our staff and, pay for all the things that we have to pay for. Picking up some jams and jellies or other random things that we've made in the kitchen at one of our markets. Hiring us for tree care is wonderful. And then also we have this really fun thing that there's a button on our homepage now that if you have a neighbor with a fruit tree and that fruit is falling on the ground, you can tattle on your neighbor and we will send them a postcard that says, "Hey, did you know we exist? We'd love to help you with that." And people are loving tattling on their neighbors. I've tattled on like 3 of mine so far that are like slightly further outside of where I know everybody. It's going great.
That is
That's a
such a
good
good
idea.
idea.
We have door hangers that people can pick up at our many, many, many outreach events, but sometimes you don't want to walk up to a stranger's house and hang something on their door.
No, especially because everybody has
True.
door cameras. So if it's your neighbor, they'll see
Right?
it's you.
They know. But if you just like fill out the form on the website and they get a cute postcard,
Mhm.
and it's a very like non-judgmental postcard. It's just, hey,
Hey, maybe we can put that in our, I don't even know what you call it, our paragraph about the podcast. You can
Yeah.
put the link for tattling. That would be cool.
I will. I'll put it in there for sure. I think that's a very good resource. Did you come up with that since you've been part of the program?
indeed.
You're
Yes.
a
I was like, but what if we
genius.
just sent someone a postcard? And then, everybody else said it might be an okay idea too. And so far we've sent out, it's only been up on the website for maybe 2 weeks and we've sent probably 50 postcards.
Whoa, that's
If anyone's got
successful.
stamps they want to donate, we would take their stamps too. We need that good tattling change.
Part of your mission, of course, is to get food to people that need it. So if people want to get, jams and fruit and things from you, how do they do that? Do they just show up to Portland Fruit Tree Project? Do they go to those refrigerators? What's the best way for them to benefit from the things that you're providing?
It's a great question. We haven't really ever done direct distribution, although with as much fruit as we've been seeing lately, we've been sort of talking about what it might look like to just have open fridge days, and that may still come. Right now, I would say looking at our partner organizations that are most active with us. So Lift Up Portland has a bunch of different pantry days. The Community for Positive Aging has a few for people who are seniors. And I actually run a volunteer program from there where we deliver things to seniors. So you can check that out too. And they might see my smiling face at their door. By the end of the day, I'm never smiling. I'm just lugging heavy groceries. It's a lie. The Bethlehem House of Bread is another big one for people on the west side. They serve 7 different Clackamas County pantries over there.
Oh,
So it's going very broadly out into the world. And, if people are in inner Northeast Portland and they want to cruise by the fridge and grab some fruit, more power to them.
Cool.
Everything's labeled.
So most of the stuff that you make goes into the food pantries that are already existing.
Yeah.
Cool.
I heard that you could use some dehydrators. There's a lot of people with dehydrators in their basements too, just like they have canning jars. They're not dehydrating fruit anymore.
Yep.
Would you accept dehydrator donations if they're in good
Absolutely.
working order?
Yeah, as long as they function, and I'll vet all of it too. We'll accept any preservation equipment that people want to move out of their lives. Because if I can't use it, then probably a volunteer who's coming in with like their own setup. So
Yeah.
we've taken quite a few water bath canners. I've got 4 pressure canners that I need to check the gauges on before they go out into the world. Dehydrators are great.
Yeah.
Food processors. We've taken a couple of food processors. Those have been life-changing. So you got a good gadget. We'll take it.
Yeah. Because people see they're valuable, but they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Somebody donated a very vintage Excalibur dehydrator a
Yeah.
while ago, and it doesn't matter how vintage an Excalibur is, I want it. It's so
Yeah,
good.
they're great.
It's so nice.
Yeah, the Excalibur are good because the air flows in a circular motion over the multiple trays. They just work
Yeah.
really great. And they usually have a
Yeah.
thermostat.
It does have a thermostat. This one doesn't have a timer, so I had to rig a timer through the outlet, but that's not a big deal.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
can just use one of those timers you use on lamps in your house.
exactly.
Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas lights. That's what we always have
Yeah,
them around for.
exactly.
Are there any community events you have coming up that people can be part of?
There are an appalling amount of community events that people can be a part of. The sort of biggest, flashiest one is coming up on Saturday, where a group of people, led by the intrepid Catherine, who is Sarah's friend, kayaking out to Ross Island to pick blackberries. So, in
Oh
addition
my
to being
gosh.
blackberry picking, we are coordinating with a bunch of different other nonprofits, the Human Access Project, Mosquito Fleet, et cetera, to talk about water quality issues on the Willamette and public access to land. It
Wow.
should be really fun and informative.
That's cool.
And you get to take home all the blackberries because people can always use blackberries.
There's a lot of blackberry bushes around Portland, and those are not indigenous. Those have been,
No, they're deeply invasive.
yeah, they came from birds pooping, from what I heard. They
Yeah,
eat them, then they'd fly and they poop and then they grow. It's just crazy how that works.
yeah. And once they're established, they're almost impossible to kill. So we call these harvests the can't beat 'em, eat 'em harvests.
I think I saw a social media post on that one. That's
Yeah.
cute.
This is our fourth year, I think, doing them. A couple of years we've done them on, just normal public property. But the last 2 years we've done it with the kayaking project, and it's been really fun.
That's fun.
Yeah, we have blackberries in our yard, but they don't really produce any actual blackberries. And if they do, they're
Oh,
like the tiniest blackberries, but they are huge. They'll like stretch across, they'll pull down our fence. They're like the craziest vines ever. So we
yeah.
just try to keep cutting them back
Yep.
over and over and over.
Yeah, Marshall, you need a goat.
I know. Well, when we bought the house, the people had goats. And so we actually didn't know that the whole yard was pretty much blackberries and mint. And then the goats went away and everything just went whoosh.
Oh no. They had
Unsolicited
goats.
advice in the fall, dig the crowns out. So after you cut it down
Yeah.
in the fall when it's wet, dig those
Yeah.
big crowns out,
Yeah.
and that will start to actually get them out of your life so that you don't just have to cut them over and over again.
That's a
It's
good
a lot of
idea.
work, though.
Yeah.
Hire a teenager.
Heather,
That's my other big move.
do
Hire
your
a teenager.
teams help with blackberry remediation?
I mean, if someone will pay us for it, we'll do just about anything. No one has asked us to yet.
Mm.
I might.
Because it sounds like hers are trees.
No, we have somebody come cut them down, and we like pay our yard people to come cut them, but they've never really given us a solution to the problem other than that we can poison everything, and we're like, no, that's
Well, you
okay.
don't want to do that.
I know.
No, a few years of digging and you can make a lot of progress. That's what we do at the orchard spaces. We hack them down in the summer, and in the fall we go through and we start digging.
Yeah.
And it's slow but steady because they're super invasive, but
Yeah.
you can eventually more or less win.
That gives me hope. Thank you. All right. Well, let's tell people one more time how to get to your website.
Yes, it is at www.portlandfruit.org.
All right. Well, we want to thank you for coming on today. It was great to hear about all the wonderful things you do. Thank you for everything you do for the community.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
And thank you to our listeners for tuning into the show. You can listen on Apple and any kind of podcast platforms. You can rate us as well. And you can follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Meaningful Marketplace Podcast. You can call or text Sarah and I with questions. Some of those we'll be answering in our next podcast. The number is 503-395-8858. And we cannot do this without our fantastic team at Joy of Creation Production House. Thank you to Haley, our audio engineer. We'll be back next week, everybody. Thanks for joining. Bye.
Bye for now.
If you love the stories we bring you each week, please consider supporting us on Patreon. As an independent media company, your support is absolutely essential. It allows us to continue creating high-quality professional episodes that amplify the voices of women, small business owners, writers, artists, and creatives, and keep their stories free from commercial pressure. By becoming a Patreon member, you're not just supporting us, you're investing in the future of independent media. Please visit patreon.com/The Joy of Creation Production House to join our community today. Thank you for listening and supporting our podcast dreams.